Hey there, how's it going? davidinark here, and today I'm going to show you a little cool trick. If you go into free roam and in the lower right corner you include auxiliary debug content, you'll notice that a bunch of additional maps pop up. The first one is the automated testing map, and this is not the automation racetrack thing. This is called the automated testing map, and what's really cool is that there is a batch file that you can run, and the program will automatically run a series of tests and record the results. And if you want to know how that's done, stick around. We'll do that at the end. I'll show you how you do that. And so that's definitely one of the maps. Very, very cool. The automated test actually runs two different tests. It ran one on the right-hand side where all of the bumps and all the other stuff is, and then it's also running one over here on the left-hand side. Now, you don't actually touch anything, you just let it run. However, I will say that the bus, which is the default vehicle that came with the script that I downloaded, pulled to the right, so I am actually steering. But other than that, it's just running the test. And then once it's done running the test, it'll drop you out to the desktop, and you can go find the data somewhere on your computer. We'll talk more about that later. In the meantime, let's jump over to the garage, and that map is also included in the auxiliary debug content. And the garage used to be something that we had access to anyhow, but it's very cool. So you can have your car in here, you can do really cool pictures, that kind of stuff. You can also hit the F key and do the walk around thing, so you can actually go into the shop here. Nothing's interactive though, you can't open the fridge or anything, but you know, hey, it's fun to walk around, fun to play around in the garage. And one of the other maps that you have is Glow City. So if you've played around with the track racer deal, then you've seen the map from far above. However, this puts you on ground level. And as a matter of fact, you can even see off in the distance where the blue glow is and where the little dots that are flying around. When you're playing the glow track maps up above, these look like cars racing around, but as you can see, they're just lights that are on a track. So you can actually drive around, drive on this little road here. So I say we just hop on here and gun it, see where we go. Looks like it runs out. Yes, it does. All right. Well, anyhow, if I zoom out here, Control-C, jump into FreeCam, and use WASD to back out, you can see what I'm talking about. So you see the blue road paths there that you normally get when the tracks that you're racing on are way up here above the city. So very cool that you can actually drive around in Glow City. That's very, very cool. One thing to note is that every time you come back to free roam, you'll have to check that box. So remember to do that. And the next map that we're going to jump into is the Showroom. And this is one of the older maps, if you will. Essentially, it's a giant white room. You get this little pop-up menu over here, but you can also change it to a black background if you wish. And then in addition to that, you have a Zone A environment, which is the one that we're actually in. It's the one that pops up. But you can also go to this Zone B. And definitely recommend that you play around with dynamic reflections. I don't think I've got that turned on at this point. I can't remember. But you can also play around with fog settings. And this one doesn't have another background, but very, very cool stuff. Now, the other thing about the Showroom is it has a thumbnail generator, and so you can go in here and you can pick which vehicle you want. Now, I will warning, by default, they are all selected, so it's going to go through like every configuration of every vehicle, so make sure you only pick the one that you want. In the meantime, when we bounce back out here, we will now jump out to the template map, and the template map is pretty much just what it says. It is a giant island. In fact, I think it's the cliff map without the middle being raised up. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what this is. If not, it's close enough to it. But essentially what you could do is use this template map in order to launch if you want to create your own maps. So for example, if I were to jump into World Editor here, then I can launch World Editor, and at this point I can edit the map just like I would, any other map that I wanted to, but this gives you a template to start with. So if I jump in here to the terrain tools, we're already on the lift terrain, and you can see my little circle here. And so if I move my circle around and I just kind of click, it's a little hard to tell, but you can tell the terrain is moving up as I click. And if I just hold the mouse button down, especially if I hold and drag, you'll see that like it ends up with these giant ridges. So if we come out here and we just draw a little bit, and we'll just grab, I don't know, something out here and go across there. And again, if I just hold the mouse button down, it'll raise that level just like to this weird points. But as you can see, there is the terrain edited after I played around in the template map. So the template map, it really is. It's a good place to just get in, play around, learn the world editor, figure out how you edit terrains, lay down roads, all that kind of good stuff. So it's a great place to start. But again, remember, whenever you go into your free roam, you want to make sure that you check the include auxiliary debug content, and that gives you these extra little maps. And you'll notice that those maps are signified by the little warning sign next to the BeamNG logo. Now, if you want to learn how to run the auto test, I'll have a link to the forum post down below. You grab this one line of text and you're going to paste that into Notepad. You want to make sure that you do not have word wrap turned on. And then you're going to save this by changing this to all files. And then you have to put it wherever your BeamNG installation is located. So in my case, it's under Steam, Steam Apps, Common Files, BeamNG Drive. Now, once you get to the main BeamNG Drive folder, I just called mine start.bat. That was the recommendation in the forum post. So, why not? So then also on that same post, there's the file called work.json, and you want to save that one. So I'll download that to my computer, jump over here, and then I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it into, again, my main BeamNG game folder, not my user data folder, but my game folder. Once I paste that in there, then all I have to do is double click this. So by the way, here's what the work one looks like. And that determines what vehicle you're going to use. So you can edit that work file in order to change the starting vehicle that it's being tested. Double click that start bat file and everything else is automated. I'm not touching a thing at this point. I double clicked start and the game pops up to here, and it's a little hard to tell what's happening, but it's actually loading that automated testing map. It's setting the gearbox, it's setting the maximum speed, it's whatever it's running in the background. That's what it's doing, and it takes off and it collects the data. As I mentioned before, and that's just the console, that when you hit the tilde key, I was trying to find what data it was collecting. I never could find the data. I have no idea where it's being stored. I even looked through several posts and it was not where it said it was supposed to be, so your mileage may vary. But anyhow, there you go. Some cool bonus content included with the game in BeamNG Drive. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks to all my supporters. I'm davidinark. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.